Well, today I'm like, I've got to share with the people what I'm experiencing before. And usually I don't like to share in real time things that I may be experiencing or processes that the Lord's putting me through, because I normally like to live it out, digest what it is, whatever it is that's going on, to then share as a form of testimony of sorts. But as I'm going through it in real time, I felt an inkling to go ahead and share. Because, a lot of we think we're the only ones. We really do. Because it does feel, especially when you don't see people in your immediate circle go through whatever it is you're going through. Which, by the way, if y'all hear boiling an egg, so that's why it's loud. But last night, firstly, one of the things that I'm learning to do, I say learning because it's continual. I know it, but I have to put it in practice a lot. Is to be really raw and vulnerable before the Lord. To have prayers where I'm not hiding anything from Him, which is so dumb, at least on my part to do. Because it's like, He already knows everything. So what are we waiting for? He knows what's in my heart. He knows every thought that crosses my mind. So it's like, go ahead and be honest with God. Go ahead and say what it is that you're experiencing. I almost want to say how it is you want to say it. And I say this very carefully because obviously this is just me. I'm just gonna tell y'all based on how I experience it before the Lord. I'll be like, okay, I remember that. I gotta remember God is God. Can't just come up, just presence any old way. But last night, or yesterday evening, it was evening because it was still light out, I began to feel some type of way. It's almost like, not that a cloud was looming over my head, but it kind of was. It wasn't. It was one of those things where what I'm about to tell y'all that happened, I've been kind of quietly carrying, but I have allowed for, the busyness of life to kind of take over, for me to not really bring it to God for real, for me to not tell God exactly how I'm feeling it. And I went on a drive yesterday evening, and when I'm in a car, listen, my car is my prayer closet. Side note, I know that for some people it's like, you gotta kneel, get on your knees and pray and do all those things. My brain starts to think like really, really fast. I get distracted. So a lot of the times, really, my prayer closet is my car, or if I go on a walk where I won't put on headphones, I won't put on music. It's just, hey, I'm locked in with God. I'm literally walking with the Lord. Or if I'm driving, sometimes I don't even need to have a destination. It's let's go on a drive. God is you and me. So I went on a drive on a prayer. Well, I actually went on a drive to go get something to eat, but I was like, it's me and you, God. And I said to God, I'm like, God, I know you have, hi there. I said to God, listen, I know you have a plan for me. I know that, like, we know these things. I even have an inkling and a knowing of sorts of kind of the area where God is going to use me in, because I've had dreams, like really vivid dreams about it. And it's just a knowing in your spirit. But I've always put it like, that's way in the future, that's way in the future, that's way in the future. Because it always feels like it is. And I'm okay with that. Because I feel like what God has for me, it'll come at the right time. What God has for you, it'll come at the right time. And I know it's annoying to hear that. But I'm like, okay, God will release it to me when I can handle it. And, I know that whatever He's got for me is going to be tied to somebody else's destiny. And, like, I'm like, okay, he knows what He's doing. But while I'm waiting, I don't just sit and do nothing. And I'm like, okay, God, well, I'm trying to do multiple things with what I do have in hand. Whatever it is I do have available right now. Sometimes it's social media content. I'm here on the YouTube. Just whatever it is, I'm doing it. And I found myself in this place where I'm like, God, I feel like I'm alone. I know that I'm not, but like I am. Like I have people around me. I have a close circle where, I can call and et cetera, et cetera. But for me to really confide in somebody and talk about, let me break down this word with you. Let me talk to you about what I'm sensing the Holy Spirit is doing. Hey, like really geek out and nerd out when it comes to the word and when it comes to ministry and what I'm perceiving the Lord is doing and all these things. It's like they'll listen and they're like, oh, okay. And, they'll try to be supportive. But to have a fellow peer who can understand the cost of carrying the mantle, who can understand the cost of, understand what a wilderness season is, and you can have those type of conversations is totally different. Where I'm like, God, every project that I have, I really don't have anybody who would help me with what I need. Like legit, hey, what you got? Let me, and have the time to do that and the capacity and the bandwidth to do that. And it's not for lack of me speaking up. It's just not happening, and things are not happening at the pace that I would like it. And so I was telling the Lord about it. I'm like, and that's the thing, God, that although I am bothered, I'm understanding and I'm okay that it is in your timing and in your will. And I think those two things can coexist. And I may have to do an episode on that where we can be agreeing with God on something, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean that it doesn't bring grief. It doesn't, like, you can agree with God's will and still be hard and difficult, and you can still bring about certain emotions like frustration, sadness, loneliness, all these things. And I just said, Lord, when will it be my time? Like, and what is the next thing? And just having these raw conversations with God, and even talking to him about certain things, like even my finances. Like when I was telling you, I was talking to God about everything, ministry, work, all these things. I even said to the Lord, I don't want you to think I'm ungrateful. I don't want to do this occupation any longer, but I don't want you to like get me fired or anything like that. When will I get to do what I know I was born to do for a living? And just as I'm driving, just letting the tears roll. It wasn't, it's just coming. And I didn't realize I had all of that in me until I make sure everything around me is quiet. But I was able to lay it all before the Lord. And I went home, got my food, ate. I was still emotional, still raw, still like, oh my goodness. Hello. I was still sad about certain things. But he knew. And then the next day, I wake up still with like that residual emotional thing, and God began to speak right away. And I'm opening my phone. I open this app, and a sermon comes up. Wasn't on my radar. It's not the preacher, the teacher who was teaching the sermon. I have listened to his stuff before. I'm familiar with his teachings, but as of the last couple of years, I haven't, at least the last year or two, I haven't really listened to his stuff. But it began to speak to me about the Kairos time and about how it reminding me, because already, again, I know these things, about how God is the redeemer of time, how it may seem frustrating right now to like, hey, things aren't happening when I want them to happen. I feel like I've been delayed for years. Like I'm continually delayed, and I see other people grow at a much rapid speed, much faster speed. People that seemingly, right? Because I don't know, that just my view could be skewed. Seemingly not putting in as much work, not seemingly maybe not even as close to God, just accelerate and advance in my field in ways that I'm like, okay, I understand it's in your timing, but why is this not happening for me? So the sermon talked about the acceleration and how God is a redeemer and the restorer of time. So it was a reminder of like, I didn't forget about you. And you know, just God's continued to speak to me throughout other things, just this morning. And I was still kind of feeling kind of sorry for myself a little bit. And I laid down and dozed off. I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna sleep, because that's one of the things I tend to do sometimes, where it's like to not feel the discomfort, to not feel the pain, I'm going to go to sleep. And I went to sleep. And then I get this text from somebody, and it just cracked me up, because they were like, hey, wake up. This is your wake up call. Get up. They didn't know what was happening. And I was like, you know, and just talking to the person, and they were like, oh, it's just a random wake up call. I was like, it is not random at all. Not random at all. And they were like, why do I feel like there's a story with this? I'm like, there's always a story. There's always some testimony. But like, just know that you've been used by God this morning, and it was a wake up call, and it was a get up and get dressed. Like, I'm dressed. I did my hair. It's a little rough today, but you know, put on some clothes, shoes, put on a little makeup, put on some earrings, and preparing myself a little breakfast and talking to y'all. But it's all that to say, and I'll end it here. It's whatever it is you are experiencing. First of all, pray wherever. If you need to go on a walk, on a trail, if you need to go on a drive, as long as it's you and God, no distractions, go ahead and do that. But be dead honest and like brutally honest with God. I even had a moment where I said, God, I don't even think this is fair. And I know you are the judge. You are I'm not accusing the Lord of, I would never, of like, you are an unjust God. No. Like, he is a just, fair God. I'm like, hey, but this is bothering me. Like, I just said it how I needed to say it in a calm way, but I said it how I needed to say it. And in that honesty, I was able to find relief in his presence. And in that honesty, he was able to honor that, in that, hey, I heard you and I heard your honesty, but now I'm going to talk to you. And this is what's going on. And I was able to find comfort in that. And the last of it was like, hey, and get up and get dressed. We're not going to sit here sulking. We are not. So yeah, that's all that to say in all these minutes that I have been yapping away is, whatever it is, be super honest with God. Whatever it is, we got to learn how to have these raw conversations. But that's it.